Hello and welcome to another edition of Howard's Horse Handicapping. This is Howard Kravitz. Thank you very much for joining me. I've got a great show for you today. The first thing you need to do, find out how to get in touch with me on this show. Please make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel, or you can follow me on Twitter at @HKravitz. You can see the description down below there. I'd love to have you join me either on YouTube and or follow me on Twitter. We've got a great show planned tonight. What we're going to be doing is recapping what happened on Saturday. And Saturday, let me tell you, what a day. We hit the pick six. Idol came through in the Santa Anita handicap. Everything fell right for me. It was fantastic. What are you waiting for? Please join the Howard Money Train. Tell your friends all about it. I had Mishriff 2 weeks ago at 19-1. We hit the pick six for 2,000 this weekend. Again, you're not always going to cash, but when you cash, you got to make sure you do it big, and that's what's been happening. Please join me on my YouTube channel or on Twitter, and also tell your friends all about the shows because things are going really well for us, and I hope you're getting a lot of very good information, and I hope you cash also this past Saturday. So let's talk about, first of all, what's happening this Thursday night. So this Thursday night, from 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central, we're going to have a live Zoom show. I've been going back and forth between Zoom shows and live stream to see what people like, and I'd love to be able to talk to you in person. We have not gone to Oaklawn yet. I've been going out to the East Coast, the West Coast, but let's give some props to Oaklawn, who has been recovering from some horrible weather. They've got the best day of racing in the country this Saturday by far. They've got 5 stake races. 2 of them are going to be graded, including the Kentucky Derby Prep, the Grade 2 Rebel, which is the prep for the Arkansas Derby, and also the Azeri for older fillies and mares, and some serious horses are coming back for their first start in 2021 in that race. In order to see the show next Thursday night, there will be a Zoom link, and you can find it in the description below the video player here on YouTube. And also, I will be tweeting it out on my Twitter account at @HKravitz. So please, again, look down below in the description for the Zoom link for Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And also, I will be tweeting it out on Twitter at @HKravitz, so you can take a look at that. We are going to be recapping here the pick six. Now, I'm really proud of what happened on Saturday, and maybe not for the reasons you might think. I'm ecstatic that we hit the pick six. I gave you a less than $200 ABC ticket, hit for 2014, and also Idol came through at 5-1, my play of the day. But here's what I personally learned on Saturday, and frankly, I need to do this more often. I completely sat on my hands until 4:30 Central Standard Time for the pick six. I watched the races at Tampa. I watched the races at Aqueduct because they had Kentucky Derby preps. But I didn't make one single bet all Saturday afternoon until 4:30 for the pick six. That is not something that I do very often. I love the action just like everyone else, but sometimes you just got to pick your spots, and I'm proud that I did not able to open up my pocketbook until the pick six at Santa Anita. It's something for everyone to consider, to pick your spots correctly and don't waste money just because there are races going on. So we're going to take a look at the pick six that happened Saturday. We're going to do it briefly. We're going to watch the replay of the 4 stake races. I'll talk a little bit about the other 2 races in the sequence as well. Before we do that, let's take a look at the ABC ticket that came through for us. So this was the ABC ticket that I presented to everyone on the show last week, the preview show. And you see the winners were the number 1, Life is Good, single A, Whisper Not, single A, in race 2. They were very likely winners. However, a lot of people probably threw money in on some other horses. So it was good to get those 2 A's home, although it was chalky. Then we had a Wait It All button in the next race, and the 6 Brickyard Ride ended up wiring the field. We'll watch that race. Then race 9 was the Kilroy Mile. I have to admit, I was a little bit wrong about this race. The 2 Californians ran 1-2. They were B horses for us, but obviously that's okay. And then race 10 was the big race for us when Idol came through as an A. Maxfield was only a B for me. I thought there were a lot of question marks. Fortunately, I was correct about that, and Idol came through. And then the last race, we needed a price to sort of boost our pick six, and we did with the other Bob Baffert horse, Defunded, who came like a train, got a great pace set up. Joel Rosario with the ride. He was the 11. So we had 4 A's, 2 B's. As long as you only have 1 B or 2 B's or 1 C and the rest A's, you can hit the ABC ticket, and that's what happened for us. So everything worked out fantastic, and we hit for $2,014. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at these races and the replays, and then we're going to talk about them briefly because there are some things we need to talk about. The first race was the San Felipe. It was Kentucky Derby Prep, and Life is Good. Boy, was he good. I mean, he was better than good. Let's watch the San Felipe, Frank Miramati on the call.
And they're off. Life is Good flies out of the gate, takes command at once. Medina Spirit has some natural speed, and so does the great one on the outside of Dream Shake. Then it's Governor's Party. None above the law. Roman Centurions at the back. About 6 lengths off Life is Good, who sprints away. And Life is Good has opened up a 3-length lead. Medina Spirit is in second. The great one inches up outside of him. Then it's Dream Shake 4, 3.5 off the pace. Governor's Party is on the outside of None Above the Law and Roman Centurion at the back. They head past the 5/8 pole, chasing Life is Good, who's loose up top. It's now a 4-length lead. Medina Spirit, the great one on the outside, kept in the clear. Dream Shake is at the rail, has 5 lengths to make up coming to the half-mile pole. Then None Above the Law, followed by Roman Centurion and Governor's Party. Heading to the 3/8 pole, it's been all Life is Good, sailing along with a 3-length lead, Medina Spirit. At the rail, Dream Shake, the great one outside that pair, then a big gap to Roman Centurion. A quarter of a mile to go, and Life is Good has a 3.5-length lead. No one's coming close. Dream Shake on the inside, then Medina Spirit and the great one top of the stretch. Life is Good, 4-length lead. Now it's 5, and it's all Life is Good. He's passing this test with flying colors. Life is Good, unbeaten and untested as he rocks in the San Felipe. Wins by about 8. Medina Spirit second.
Life is Good was absolutely awesome. You can take nothing away from this horse. He got apparently a 107. That is gaudy. That is good. That is very good. 107 Beyer. Now, he was on the lead by himself, but the high cruising speed on this horse, I mean, doesn't this horse just remind you of Pharaoh and Justified, etc.? I'm not saying this horse can win the Triple Crown, but boy, he's got some characteristics that remind you of those horses. Now, he did float into the middle of the stretch, in the middle of the track, which is a little bit of concern because he's still green. Bob Baffert said after the race that he was looking at the video board on the infield and got distracted. He said he does not do that in the mornings when the video board is not on. I tend to believe Bob Baffert completely in this situation. However, there are some very big video boards at Churchill Downs. So he's going to have to figure that out. But this horse is super talented. He is the most talented 3-year-old in the country. I would say in Essential Quality, who I like a lot, is not that far off of Life is Good. But those two, to me, seem to be head and shoulders above the rest right now. And Life is Good, if he stays healthy, is going to be a very tough customer down the road. I thought Dream Shake was a little bit interesting in this race, who ran a big race first time out. He got decent in third. Medina Spirit finished second. But you know what? Really, there's really not too much else to say. Life is Good was fantastic, and we move on. Now, I'm not going to show you the next race, which was Whisper Not. I talked about Whisper Not. I had the divorce papers filled out, signed, and ready. if Whisper Not did not win. This horse has turned into a speed runoff. I don't know when this happened, because when he first came to this country last year, he was in behind horses, and I thought he raced pretty well that way. He's got to learn to control his speed, but I still think he's very talented. Middle of the stretch, I was a little bit nervous. I'm not going to lie about it. But he did come through. He reminds me a bit of Precious Passion, who was a really good stakes horse that had a very uncharacteristic, huge speed on the lead, which you don't see a lot from distance horses. And he won a lot of graded stakes. I'm not saying Whisper Not is going to be a big grade stakes winner, but I'd actually like to see them stretch those horse out. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but I think he could even be more dangerous and get a much slower lead and a slower pace in a longer distance, like 1.25 miles. It's going to be interesting to see where they go with Whisper Not, but he came through as an A. Another big favorite, though. So I haven't really given you anything that special. We got 2 A's home. There's nothing wrong with that in a pick 6. Now, let's go to the next race, which was the San Carlos. The San Carlos Stakes was pretty much an all button here. And let's take a look at the San Carlos. 7 furlongs, grade 2 for older horses. Frank Miramati with eyes to you. I don't think I actually put the video on, although you might have heard the video. So I apologize for that. But Brickyard Ride is a completely different horse now. He wired the field. He went 43 4 to the half. Again, I apologize for the video. He was awesome. I like what Storm the Court did. He tried to be close to him, but he just couldn't do any closing. Exalted made a nice run on the outside for Mike Smith. Exalted is a horse you might want to look at going forward. But Brickyard Ride is a different horse now. No problem with the lead changes. He was absolutely awesome in this race. Fantastic. And Brickyard Ride is a serious factor in, obviously, Calbred races, and apparently in open company as well. When you're that fast and you're that good, I'll tell you what, it's going to be interesting to see where they go with Brickyard Ride going forward. Congratulations to the connections. And you got 5 to 1 on that horse. Again, that just shows you lone speed absolutely kills. Lone speed is so dangerous. I was dubious, I must admit, about him getting the distance, but he ran the race of his life. He ran huge. Congratulations to Brickyard Ride. Now, that was another A for us. Now we go to what I thought, personally, was the best race on the card. The deepest race, the most competitive, the Frankie Kilroy Mile. This was a fantastic betting race. And I will admit, I was a little bit wrong. I thought the East Coast horses would come over and dominate like they usually do, but they did not. Hit the road, his first grade 1 for Dan Blacker. What a great story. If you watched TVG, you saw Christina Blacker just going crazy, cheering for her husband as he won his first grade 1, the trainer Dan Blacker. A great story. This ride by Florent Drew that we're going to watch was absolutely fantastic. Stayed on the inside, found the hole, and outlasted the one who, frankly, I didn't love. I had them both as B horses, but they both ran huge. Let's go ahead and take a look at that race right now as I get this queued up ready to go this time. Here we go. This is going to be the Frankie Kilroy Mile with, again, Frank Miramati on the call.
And they're off. Smooth like straight is very fast away from the gate. Flavius up close in the early stages too. Royal Ship comes away in third. Here's Flying Scotsman. And Flying Scotsman sprints up and is faster than all of them. Clears the field and opens up too. Smooth like straight is now in second. Hit the road on the inside of joint third with Flavius outside of him. They're followed by Casa Creed, 6 or 7 lengths off the speed. Social Paranoia, Royal Ship are next as they swing on to the backstretch. Then Ride A Comet going by a couple of rivals at the back of the field, Spirit Animal, and Count Again. They're heading toward the half-mile pole in the Frank E. Kilroy Mile, and the lead belongs to Flying Scotsman by a length and a half. Smooth like straight is tracking him nicely in second, then it's Flavius on the outside of Hit the Road. Casa Creed, 6 lengths off the leader. Social Paranoia inches up inside of him. Then ride a comet with the green cap, racing on the outside of Royal Ship, Count Again, and Spirit Animal. A quarter of a mile to go, Flying Scotsman, Smooth Like Straight, Flavius, Hit the Road, just waiting for racing room. Behind them, Casa Creed, Social Paranoia at the rail. There's an eighth of a mile to go, Smooth Like Straight, Hit the Road, finds a seam along the inside, and Flavius, Hit the Road on the inside, Flavius, Smooth Like Straight, in between them. Far outside, Count Again is absolutely flying, but we're running out of time. It's Hit the Road, wins the Frankie Kilroy mile. Smooth Like Straight in a photo.
I'll tell you what a fantastic ride. There are a few things we need to talk about this race briefly, though. First of all, again, all credit to Hit the Road. Smooth Like Straight, after, who was the one horse, after Hit the Road went by, he fought back. Smooth Like Straight ran a monster race. Who else ran a big race? Count Again, the 8, was absolutely coming like a train on the outside. I thought he ran a big race also, although the distance is just a little bit too short. Mile 16th, mile and 8th. This horse is very, very good. He's going to win plenty of money this year as an 8-year-old if he can stay healthy. Now, a horse that I put out there, and he was the second longest shot on the board. I could not believe this horse was the second longest shot on the board as the betting was going on. I think it was like 26 to 1. And that was the 4, Royal Ship. I mentioned on Twitter, I thought he was interesting. I put a small win bet on Royal Ship, and I did play him in trifectas in each spot. Unfortunately, he came in 5th, but only lost by about a length and a half. He actually ran a big race, and I thought he did have some trouble. And I do want to show you this race, because I want you to remember Royal Ship next time he runs, although I don't think you're going to get 26 to 1 next time. So let's go ahead and watch. Just going to go ahead and watch the beginning of the early part of the race with Royal Ship. I'm going to watch the first turn here. Royal Ship is the 4. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the sound off so we can just go ahead and watch here. But if you see Royal Ship's on the inside, about mid-pack right now. And I was hoping right here, when Hit the Road, the 2 horse was in front of him, I was hoping that Royal Ship would be able to get to the rail. Unfortunately, you see the 3, Social Paranoia, sort of rushes inside of him, and he ends up being in between, right here. He's in between horses, and right there, he had to check and steady a little bit a few times, and he's in between horses, and you see he's grabbing right there. You can see he's got Mike Smith's got a big hold right here, and he's grabbing, etc. Now, you might say, well, Howard, that really was pretty subtle. There really wasn't too much. You know what? The little subtle trouble that Idol had in his last race made a big difference. And I think that that did make a big difference. And we go ahead and watch the end here. You can see Royal Ship is right here. He's a little further back than I wanted, but he was coming. And he did find room. There's no question about it. Now he's got to sort of angle out a little bit. He's on the wrong lead. And right here, he switches leads. And he ran on very well to finish, about a length and a half off in a very close 5th. If he got the perfect trip, he could have won this race. He did not get the perfect trip, so he didn't win. But a little better trip, I think he would have been in the money, and I think I would have collected the trifecta. That's the way it goes. That's racing luck. But again, Royal Ship for Richard Mandela, I think a very interesting miler going forward out on the West Coast, or maybe we'll see. Maybe they'll bring him out east, but I doubt that. We'll see him probably stay out west. Now, here we go. So that was a B for me, by the way. So right now we got 3 A's and 1 B. Now we're on to the 5th leg, the second to last leg of the pick 6. And this is the one, listen, I put my money where my mouth is. When I'm wrong, when I say I'm wrong, when I'm right, we need to cash. I've told you that. I loved Idol. I had a try with him, which didn't pay as much as I was hoping because Maxfield finished 3rd. Had a nice win bet on him. But really where I got the value on Idol, or where we got the value on Idol, if you use him, is in the pick 6. Because he was an A for me in the pick 6, and beating Maxfield jumped up the price in this pick 6 tremendously. And that's really where I got the value. Joel Rosario, I tip your cap. This is exactly the ride I was hoping he would get. And I talked about it on the show before. He stayed wide. He did not come inside. He followed Express Train, and he just came right over the top of this horse. A fantastic effort. Let's go ahead and watch that race right now. This is the big cap. We're going to watch the whole thing in all its glory with Frank Vermillion in the call and Idol winning this Grade 1. Joel Rosario aboard. Here's the call of the Santa Anita Handicap.
And they're off in the Santa Anita Handicap, sponsored by San Manuel Casino. King Guillermo and Tiz a Magician are the first two out. Independence Hall came away in the top flight, and so did Express Train. Maxfield will settle fifth in the early going. He's about 4 lengths off the pace. He's tugging just a touch. 2.5 more back to Coastal Defense on the inside of Idol, who's kept well off the rail, and Kiss Today Goodbye. King Guillermo will set the pace. He's in front by 1.5 lengths to Tiz a Magician. Independence Hall finds a little bit of room thanks to Tiz a Magician moving out, and he comes through to take third. Express Train is just outside of him, 3.5 lengths off the pace. Another 2, Maxfield has settled down with 5 to make up. At the rail, Coastal Defense, followed by Idol and Kiss Today Goodbye. 7 lengths covers the field as they head to the 5/8 pole. Abel Cedillo has King Guillermo uncontested with a 2-length advantage. Tiz a Magician in second. Independence Hall on a nice hold at the rail in third. Express Train is just outside of him with 3 to make up. Then Maxfield together with Coastal Defense. Idol is outside of that pair, has 6 to find, and inside of him, Kiss Today Goodbye. They're heading to the 3/8 pole, still King Guillermo in front. Tiz a Magician. Maxfield is let loose on the outside now. He's just behind Express Train, who's 3 wide and vying for the lead. Independence Hall is awaiting a seam as King Guillermo the first to drop out of it. Behind them, Idol, followed by Coastal Defense and Kiss Today Goodbye. Express Train takes the lead into the stretch, and he opens up a length. Independence Hall running a big one. Maxfield on the outside, and Tiz a Magician. There's 1/8 of a mile to go, and Express Train is digging in. Independence Hall far outside. Here comes Idol with giant strides. It's Express Train. Idol's trying to get him. Express Train or Idol. Idol perfectly timed. Idol gets up under Joel Rosario to win the big cap.
What a fantastic ride by Joel Rosario. If you don't think riders matter, with all due respect to Gabriel Saez, who's been on Idol the last few times, and he's a good jockey, and he rides a lot for Larry Jones, but Joel Rosario is one of the best riders in the country, and he's probably the best finisher in the country. He did a great job of following Express Train and Maxfield. And Idol, I'll tell you one thing about Idol, pun intended, he does idle a little bit. He's a little bit lazy. Joel Rosario kept his mind on business, even down the backstretch. This is a pure grinder. He wants to run all day. We've talked about it. He ran his career best race. That was only his, I believe, his 5th lifetime start, either his 5th or his 6th. This horse is very lightly raced. I see no reason why this horse cannot continue to improve. And the best part about it is we got 5-1. I was actually very surprised that Express Train was also 5-1. I really thought he would take more money. Independence Hall, who I did not like because I didn't think he'd get the distance, was 7-2 in second choice. He actually ran pretty well. I'll give Independence Hall credit. But Independence Hall does not want to go this far. I think he is going to be a crack miler all year long. I would go to the Met Mile with him for sure. He continues to improve. And then there's Maxfield. Listen, Maxfield really ran pretty well. I do want to show you the first turn because I think it's something interesting to take a look at. So we're going to go ahead and quickly just go ahead and look at the first turn of this race. And because, again, I think it's worthwhile. And what I want you to notice is when Maxfield was inside taking some dirt, you see him sort of steady. I don't think he wanted to take dirt. I think this was the problem with Maxfield, where I don't think he wanted to take dirt at all. So I just want to make sure that you're going to see the video this time. I don't think he wanted to take dirt. Watch his action.
2 out, independent.
Sorry, let me turn the sound down here. Again, he's the 2, and you'll see him in the Godolphin blue. You'll see him. He's right now. He's on fifth. He's in 5th right here on the inside. But I don't know if he's really ever been behind horses. And watch what happens. He takes like a weird step or a strange skip, right? Coming up, right there. Right there. He's rank, and he lost a few lengths there. And I do not think he wanted to be inside. I'm not sure he's really taken that much dirt. Once he got into the outside, he actually ran just fine. Again, we're not going to watch the whole race here. So I think it's something to take a look at going forward. He got a lot of good experience on this race. Listen, Maxfield is a very good horse, but there are a lot of questions. And frankly, some of those questions we got answered. He'll be better for this effort going forward, but I thought it was a big bet against, and fortunately, I was correct, hopefully along with you folks, on Saturday. The last race, the Pick 6, we're not going to show, but defunded for Bob Baffert. He was the other Bob Baffert. The favorite was Following C, who is a run happy, who actually ran very well. I was very much against Mr. Impossible in this race because I didn't think that he was improving. I thought there were other interesting horses. And Defunded got a great ride by Joel Rosario and went on to win, which really helped. I was alive to 3 horses at that point, and actually 4 horses. But if Following C had won, it only paid about $750. Defunded was one of the best options that paid 2014. Again, congratulations to anyone that hit the Pick 6 on Saturday. So that's going to wrap up the show. Again, let's talk about Thursday night. Thursday night, we're going to have a live Zoom show, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Look below the video player here in the description for the Zoom link. You can also find the Zoom link on my Twitter account at @HKravitz. Please join me. Get a lot of friends. I'd like to have many people on. You have the chance to ask me questions live. We can banter back and forth. It's going to be a great day of racing this Saturday at Oaklawn. 5 stake races, 2 of them graded. Hope you enjoyed the show. Again, please make sure you subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Have a great rest of the week, and we will see you this Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. This has been Howard's Horse Handicapping. Howard Kravitz. Thanks again. Take care, and we'll see you Thursday night.